So in today's video we are going to be looking at the Champions League today. We're going to be reviewing match week 8 of the Champions League. The final game week, the last week in the Champions League. It was some game week. It was very, very eventful, I must say. And I mean, it was very, very hard to keep up with 18 games all at once. It was a bit of a nightmare, but we got there in the end, and it was very entertaining. And the Champions League table is now done. We now know sort of who's in, who's out, etc. So I'm gonna run through all the games, talk about teams, sort of review each team's, I guess, group stage or league phase performance in general, and also maybe I'll talk a little bit about the next round, although I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I'll see if I can try to figure it out. Anyways, so the disclaimer, of course, it was 18 games on at the same time. I did not watch every single game, so I'll try my best to describe what happened in the games, but there's more just sort of, I guess, a reaction and general sort of analysis of each team's performance in the Champions League this season. But we'll start with this one. Aston Villa 4, Celtic 2. Got a hat-trick from Morgan Rogers, and goal from Ollie Watkins, and 2 from Adam Idaya. A absolute banger of a game. This was, it was crazy because Villa went 2-0 up after 5 minutes in this game. So this game was pretty crazy because after 5 minutes, Morgan Rogers had scored 2 goals. Villa were up 2-0, and you're thinking, wow, it would be a bloodbath, and Villa cruise into it. And then Celtic scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, and it's like, what on earth is going on here? It was 2-2 going into the second half. But in the end, Villa, they completely deserved the victory. They absolutely battered Celtic, particularly in the second half. Look at 2.64 XG, 5 big chances in that second half alone. Ollie Watkins actually had a penalty, which was one of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Completely slipped and scuffed it. But he honestly should have had a hat-trick in this game. Morgan Rogers, though, great moment for him, getting a hat-trick. Is that his first hat-trick? I don't know, but probably one of his first, definitely his first Champions League hat-trick, so nice moment for him. And of course, there was a bit of, I guess, controversy sort of surrounding this match going into it. Ollie Watkins, reportedly, there was a bid from Arsenal for him, which was rejected by Villa, so maybe people thinking that might unsettle him. Well, he scored. In general, as I said, probably could have had a hat-trick in this game, but at least he did score, and it didn't really seem like that was sort of affecting his performance. But then, of course, John Duran, at the same time, he does look set to join Al Nassr for like 70 mil, which, it's pretty crazy. It's a bit disappointing, to be honest. Because Duran has been linked with so many good clubs and is still young, and I thought could potentially become a future world-class striker. But obviously, I understand why he would go to Saudi. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. Be interesting what happens as well with Villa. I'm assuming they'll probably try dip into the market to sign another striker, because all they've got is Watkins now, and who knows, maybe Arsenal might come in with another bid, although now Duran is leaving, I doubt it. Anyways, back to the Champions League. Great win for Villa, fantastic win, and this win does confirm them in the top 8 of the Champions League. So they are why did I go this way? Let me do it this way. There we go. Yeah, that puts them in the top 8, and that's unbelievable. 5 wins from 8, 2 losses, 1 draw, getting in the top 8, first time in the Champions League in many, many years, and to get into the top 8 is pretty impressive, to be honest. So, well done to Villa, well done to Emery, and hopefully this will, meaning they sort of just get the Champions League out of the way now. Hopefully their league form can pick up, because I think having the Champions League and dealing with it has affected their league form a little bit this season. But I think now it might pick up, and yeah, fantastic campaign for Villa. I mean, Celtic, they were kind of battered in this game, but they don't really care because they were already qualified anyway. It didn't really mean too much this game for them. Yeah, they come in 21st, and I mean, getting in the top 24 is a pretty good achievement actually for Celtic. They haven't really had much joy in the Champions League for quite some time, really. So yeah, getting in there is pretty good. I mean, they finish above Manchester City, right? So yeah, I'm sure they're not too mad about that. Right, Barcelona 2, Atalanta 2, goals from Lamine Yamal, Ronald Araujo, Edison and Pasalic in this one. And yeah, this was a banger. Best game of the round, but of course there wasn't really too much riding on this. Atalanta did need a result, to be fair, to get in the top 8. So it meant a little bit more for them than Barca, who were already pretty much qualified. But yeah, it was a good game. I mean, Barcelona were definitely the better side in this one, but I think it was quite an even one, to be honest. I mean, the first half was really bad watch. Not a lot happened, but second half absolutely exploded. And yeah, it was good. It was a good watch, and I believe. Oh, I need to stop doing this. Yeah, let me go here. Yeah, so unfortunately, Atalanta, even though they did get a draw, just miss out on the top 8, which is, I think they've been really unlucky because they've had some really tough games, and I think they've actually been pretty impressive in the Champions League. Like they've won 4, they've drawn 3 and lost 1, and one of those, that only loss was against Real Madrid, which is like, it happens, and 2 of those draws were Barcelona and Arsenal. So they've had a really tough run of games. I think I'm really unfortunate not to get in that top 8, just narrowly missing out. But to be honest, I mean, we'll have a look at the draw later, but I think they'll probably be fine anyway in a play-in. They've actually quite really impressed me in the Champions League. Every single game they've been super competitive, and yeah, I mean, they almost drew to Real Madrid. They've gone to the Nou Camp and drawn to Barca, and they've drawn to Arsenal as well. So yeah, I think they're going to be a force. Barcelona, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, only 1 loss, and that was with 10 men against Monaco. Yeah, finished second, comfortable, 19 points. Fantastic group stage performance from them. Next up, Leverkusen 2, Sparta Prague 0. Goals from Florian Wirtz and Nathan Teller. So yeah, Leverkusen, as you would expect, comfortable victory in this one against Sparta Prague. I mean, yeah, it was as you would expect, really. Absolute domination from Leverkusen. Sparta didn't really cause too many problems for Leverkusen. Leverkusen needed a win in order to keep their hopes of top 8 alive. They did so, finishing in 6th spots. Again, they've kind of impressed me quite a bit actually in the Champions League this season. You know, that 2 losses. One of them was against Liverpool away, which is always tough, and the other one I think was Atletico Madrid away. Again, really tough game. But I think all the other games have been absolutely superb, and another comfortable victory in this one. Florian Wirtz on the score sheet again. He's been one of the best players, I think, in the league phase this season. You know, to be fair, I might do a little team this season for the group or league phase. I keep saying group phase, league phase. Let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, Florian Wirtz will definitely be in there. He's been unreal. But yeah, Leverkusen can get the job done against Sparta Prague and into the top 8. Sparta Prague, I mean, it is what it is, to be fair. I think they'll be pretty happy. They managed to get a win, at least, in the league phase, so 4 points isn't too bad from 8 games. games. Let's move on to Bayern Munich 3, Slovan Bratislava 1, goals from Müller, Kane, Coman and Tolic. Yeah, again, I mean, not really much to say here, just as you would expect, business as usual, comfortable victory here for the home team, Bayern Munich, against the minnows, Slovan Bratislava. Yeah, I mean, this game didn't really mean much because Bayern Munich weren't really going to get in the top 8, so yeah, I mean, to be honest though, overall, there's been quite a disappointing campaign, I would say, for Bayern. Finishing in 12th spot is not great, particularly when you look at sort of who they've played. Those 3 losses have sort of come up against those bigger sides. Barcelona, they were swept by, they lost Aston Villa, and was it Benfica? I think it was, right? But yeah, no, sorry, Feyenoord, they lost 3-0, all away games as well. I mean, great at home, but yeah, that's a little concerning. And you know, in 12th spot, again, what I'll show you sort of what it's looking like in terms of who they're going to play, but I do believe they're going to play a tough team, which is not looking good. And yeah, it wasn't the best group stage performance from them, but I mean, they got in 12th, and 5 wins from 8 isn't too bad, but I guess for their standards you would expect it a little bit better. Slovan Bratislava, I mean, they ended, 8 losses from 8, but I don't think they were really expecting to do anything. Disappointed they couldn't get any points, but I think they'll be pretty happy with this game in particular. Ended on a brilliant high. I mean, this was an unreal goal from Tolic. Absolutely unbelievable goal. At least they can say, went to Allianz and scored. I think they went to Atletico and scored a goal as well. So, yeah, I think it was a nice little European experience for them. Dortmund 3, Shakhtar 1, 2 goals from Sergio Girassi, a goal from Ben Esbani, and 1 goal from Gomez. Again, the German side cleaning up at home, as you would really expect against some lesser opposition. I mean, I think Dortmund, right, they still don't have a manager. Another game under interim, but another win. Sergio Girassi with a brace. He's another one of those who's had a pretty good league phase campaign. He's done pretty well. I mean, some player who didn't do well in this game was Gregor Kobel. He had an absolute howler for the Gomez Shakhtar goal, and made a little bit of nerves in the stadium for Dortmund. But Ben Esbani got the goal. Shout out to the keeper because he did make a couple of decent saves early on in the game. Unfortunately, though, Dortmund have not finished in the top 8. They just narrowly miss out, and I think it was a real missed opportunity, because they had quite some easy fixtures, to be honest. One of the easier fixtures, and I think they won their first 3 or 4 games. So it did look at one point like they were almost guaranteed to get in the top 8. But of course, under Nuri Sahin, it sort of all fell apart, and yeah, they missed out on top 8, only by a point. But yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best from them. Although, yeah, I mean, could be a bit worse, I guess. And I guess they'll take finish in 10th, and it'll be interesting how they do in the Champions League under whoever their new manager is. Shakhtar Donetsk, yeah, to be fair, did pretty well. Weren't too far away from 24th, only in 27th. 2 wins from 8 games, not too bad. I think, yeah, they gave a pretty decent account of themselves. Those 2 wins coming against Young Boys and Brest. Yeah, gave a good game to most of the teams they played, so I think they'll be pretty happy. Brest 0, Real Madrid 3, 2 goals from Rodrigo and Jude Bellingham. A pretty comfortable win for Real Madrid in this one, as you would really expect. I mean, Brest have pulled off a little bit of shocks in the Champions League this season, but I mean, beating Real Madrid is going to be a little bit of a stretch. And Rodrigo in particular, I mean, his first goal, if you haven't seen it, was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I think a lot of people I guess, forget about Rodrigo and sort of his individual brilliance. You know, when you have your stars like Bellingham's, your Mbappe's, your Vinny's, and this Real Madrid team. But Rodrigo sort of showed in this game that he does have that sort of individual brilliance, which the other guys do as well. And yeah, grabbed a brace in this one, giving Real Madrid a comfortable 3-0 win. I mean, to be fair, Brest did have some chances. I mean, look at that. They had 23 shots in this game. And they did have a goal disallowed, which would have made it 1-1. Maybe if that gets allowed and is onside, changes the game. Probably does, but once it doesn't, and then the second goal goes in, it was kind of game over. Anyways, in terms of the wider thing, though, Real Madrid will be extremely disappointed. I mean, for their standards, this is an absolutely horrific Champions League phase for them. I mean, they ended it well, 3 wins out of their last 3, but they started abysmal. I mean, losing to Milan at home, lost to Liverpool, lost to Lille, very, very poor. But yeah, I mean, as I said, they ended it well, and in general, they've sort of picked up in form, so they'll be confident going into that Champions League game, which you're going to play later on. But I mean, finishing outside of a top 8 for a team like Real Madrid is just not really excusable, to be honest. Brest, on the other hand, though, I mean, what a Champions League campaign it's been for them. First ever Champions League campaign, and they finish in the top 24 with 4 wins out of 8. That is a solid return. Very solid. 13 points. Yeah, I don't think they can complain. Even though they got wiped the floor with, I mean, it's a great moment to be playing Real Madrid at your stadium. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much they can do, but just to qualify for the play-in, it's pretty good. It's pretty impressive. Next up we have Dinamo Zagreb 2, AC Milan 1, goals on Barcelona, Pjagic, Pulisic, and a red card for Yunus Munsa. Yeah, Dinamo, maybe with a little bit of a shock here. Pull off a victory in this one. A deserved victory as well in this game, but it's unfortunate because they still did have a chance of qualifying if they did get a win. But unfortunately results didn't go their way, so they narrowly miss out on the top 24 position. At one point it did look like they were going to get it, but unfortunately, as we'll get on to, Sporting managed to get a point. And yeah, the goal difference was just so close. It was really that result against Bayern Munich which has ruined their goal difference. But I mean, fair play to Dinamo. The way they've recovered since that absolute battering they had at the hands of Bayern Munich, I think that was actually match day 1 as well. That's not really easy to recover from, so fair play to them, and I think they put in a pretty good account of themselves. Obviously, they'll be really disappointed that they didn't get in the top 24. They were so close, but they ended on a high. They've beaten AC Milan, a very historic club, so yeah, I think they can be pretty happy. AC Milan, I mean, they kind of screwed up here. They had a decent chance actually of getting in the top 8, but yeah, messed up here. Obviously the red card made it pretty hard for them, but look, I think overall it was a pretty good campaign from Milan. At one point they started off pretty shaky under Fonseca, and it did look like they might be in a bit of trouble, but when they ended with 4 wins in the last 5 games, beating Real Madrid at the Bernabeu as well. I mean, what a result that was. But yeah, I think Milan have rallied pretty well. 15 points, not too bad, finishing 13th. I don't think they were really expecting top 8, so 13th is probably about where they expected to finish, so they'll be pretty pleased. Barcelona 1, Arsenal 2, goals from Danjuma, Jorginho and Nwaneri. Yeah, Arsenal comfortably into the knockout stages. A pretty comfortable game here. I mean, they did get a bit of a scare going 1-0 down. I mean, I don't know what their old Neto was doing. If for that goal, it was Robert Sanchez-esque. But yeah, they rallied after that. And Nwaneri with an absolutely amazing goal. Go check it out if you haven't. I mean, absolutely unbelievable goal. But from that point, yeah, Arsenal held on. There was a disallowed goal for Barcelona as well. But yeah, Arsenal get the job done and comfortably in the top 8. Third place, 19 points. I mean, pretty impressive Champions League campaign, you must say, for Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, they got the job done in pretty much all of their games. Only dropping points to Atalanta and who was it? Inter, yeah. I mean, like, they didn't, those are 2 games where they played some pretty difficult teams. So I guess you will say that they sort of beat everyone you would expect them to beat, and they did it really comfortably. But it'll be interesting how they do against those bigger sides because, limited sample size. But I mean, they beat PSG, but that's really about it. But I mean, having said that, fantastic campaign for them, comfortably in the top 8, and yeah, well done to them. I mean, as for Barcelona, I mean, at least they got a win. Out of the 8 games, but I mean, realistically, they were never going to do anything. Inter 3, Monaco 0, a hat trick from Lautaro Martinez. But I mean, they were completely aided by a red card in the 12th minute by Moisa. Yeah, made it a really comfortable win for Inter. Absolutely battered Monaco, and Inter comfortably getting into the top 8 as a result, finishing in 4th place. Great confidence booster for Lautaro Martinez as well, who hasn't had the greatest of seasons. But yeah, finishing in 4th, very, very well done to them. Beating some big teams as well, beat Arsenal, drew to City away. They did lose to Leverkusen, but yeah, I think Inter gave a pretty good account of themselves. Remarkably, only conceded 1 goal in the entire league phase. I mean, that is absolutely mental. 1 goal in 8 games, that's pretty crazy. To be fair, Arsenal only conceded 3 as well, so fair play to them. But yeah, Inter, a pretty good campaign for them. Monaco, though, they'll be absolutely gutted with that result. I mean, overall, it's been a pretty good Champions League campaign from them, but they had a really good chance of getting to the top 8 and potentially doing something here. But now, I mean, yeah, they just get a red card early on, and the game was pretty much over, and top 8 hopes are over. But look, they still finished in 17th, which I think is pretty good. They pulled off some pretty good results, beat Barcelona. And yeah, got them at top 24, so I think overall they'll be pretty happy. Just disappointed maybe in how it ended. Juventus 0, Benfica 2, goals from Pavlidis and Orkan Kokcu. Unreal from Benfica here, getting a win away from home against Juve. And I mean, they completely deserved it. I mean, look at that, 6 big chances to Juve's 1 in this game. I mean, this goal was absolutely unreal. The second one, it was beautiful play, absolutely beautiful play. Benfica, yeah, defensively were fantastic. They were just unbelievable in this game, and they end on a pretty good high. They end in the top 24, as you would sort of expect them to. I think that was sort of their expectations going into this. Yeah, 16th spot, and on a pretty good result, beating Juve away from home. That is pretty impressive. That might be Juve's first loss at home this season in all competitions. I don't know, but yeah, very well done. Juve, though, I mean, what a dismal campaign, finishing 20th. I mean, look at that. 3 draws, just absolutely awful. I mean, at least they got in the top 24, but yeah, I mean, that's back-to-back defeats as well. They recently lost their invincible status in the Serie A, and now they've lost at home to Benfica. pressure is starting to pile up on Thiago Motta because it's not looking good right now. And yeah, I mean, they got in the top 24, but unconvincing. Team who was convincing though was Lille, 6-1 versus Feyenoord. Goals from Saru, 2 own goals from the same guy. Got from Angel Gomez, Jonathan David, Remy Cabella, and Santi Jimenez. I mean, that's unbelievable. 2 goals from the same dude is pretty crazy, but this result in general, I mean, that's pretty mad. They had an XG of 1.15 and scored 6 goals. But wow, Lille absolutely blew Feyenoord out the park. I don't think anyone was expecting this. I mean, particularly after Feyenoord in the previous game week just beat Bayern Munich 3-0. I think it's a massive shock to see Lille do this. And in general, I mean, Lille have been one of the shocks, maybe the shocks of the Champions League this season, finishing in the top 8 in 7th spot with 16 points, 5 wins out of 8. I mean, that is surprising. I don't think anyone had Lille finishing in the top 8. So massive shout out to them, massive well done to them. What a campaign it's been for them. They've beaten some big teams as well, beating Real Madrid. I think they also did they beat Atletico? I think they did. And narrowly lost to Liverpool, smacked up Feyenoord. So what an unreal campaign it's been for Lille. Well done to them. Well done to them. And another one of those who's been a star in the league phase, Jonathan David, has scored a bunch of goals for Lille. Feyenoord, I mean, they got in the top 24 in this game. Didn't really mean much, but I mean, that is not how you want to end your UCL campaign. But I mean, look, they're in the top 24, so that's really what matters. Right, we'll go on to the unfortunate news. Manchester City 3, Club Brugge 1. Goals from Kovacic, an own goal. Savinho got a goal, and Onyedika got a goal. Yeah, unfortunately, it did look at one point like we were going to get one of the greatest cookout sessions of all time, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be. Man City got a deserved victory in the end. Yeah, second half, they were just unbelievable, and Club Brugge couldn't really handle them. Savinho came on, changed the game really, and yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but Club Brugge unfortunately couldn't get the job done. Went 1-0 up, but City's class showed in the end. Kovacic with a fantastic goal, and yeah, City get the job done and just about sneak in and gain qualification, finishing in 22nd place. So yeah, it would have been hilarious to see them knocked out, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Still been an absolutely abysmal campaign for them, absolutely abysmal. And I mean, pretty much all of the games against bigger sides they've not managed to win. So I mean, that will be the biggest concern for Pep, and I doubt they're really gonna do much. But yeah, I mean, at least they qualified, I guess. Club Brugge, yeah, disappointing they couldn't hold on, but again, I mean, at least they managed to qualify. I'm sure we'll tell you about, but we were robbed of such a good moment. It could have been such a different video. PSV 3, Liverpool 2, Kozunyo, Bakayoko, Saberi, Pepe, Kakpo and Elliot, and a red card as well for Nalo. Yeah, PSV gave Liverpool their first loss in the Champions League this season, although it was a extremely rotated Liverpool side. Yeah, I mean, this set first off I was watching was absolutely unreal. So many goals in this one and some real bangers. I mean, this Bakayoko goal was unbelievable. I mean, the pass, the assist, Bakayoko sat down 2 defenders. I mean, it was unreal. And like the Pepe goal as well was like an unreal finish. Yeah, it was a real fun first half to watch. Second half was maybe not the best, but the game sort of petered out. Red card at the end for the poor young lad, made his Liverpool debut. You gotta feel for this kid. came on and after like 5 minutes was sent off. I did feel really bad for him, but I mean, Liverpool, look at this, they had like Robertson playing centre back. It was a pretty rotated team, so we're not going to read into this too much at all. But I mean, PSV will be pretty happy Liverpool did that on a slot, giving them a favour a little bit because they needed a win to qualify, and they got that win because of that. And I mean, Liverpool, yeah, unreal campaign, finished top of the table and 7 wins out of 8. Right, what do we have left? We have Salzburg 1, Atletico Madrid 4, got some Dagim, Simeone, 2 from Griezmann and 1 from Llorente. Yeah, Atletico Madrid, as you would expect, a comfortable 4-1 victory in this one. Yeah, they were 3-0 up at half time. It was pretty easy. Griezmann grabbing a brace. Simeone's son was scoring, I think, his first Champions League goal. I might be wrong. Shout out to this guy though. I mean, his goal was unreal. It was like Jamie Vardy versus Liverpool, sort of reminded me. But yeah, Atletico Madrid, they finished in the top 8. A fantastic campaign from them. 6 wins out of 8. Again, I think it started off pretty ropey. I think they might have lost their first 2, but they really rallied together and yeah, comfortably in the top 8 for them. Salzburg, absolutely abysmal. I mean, 7 losses out of 8, not good, but I mean, at least they did win a game. Yeah. Sporting 1, Bologna 1, Cosm Harder and Pobega. Yeah, I mean, wow, Sporting were very, very close in being knocked out here, but this guy came in clutch with a goal in the 77th minute to keep them in the competition. I mean, yeah, they narrowly got through, only on goal difference. If that goal didn't go in, Sporting would have been out and Dinamo Zagreb would have been in. But yeah, Sporting just about hold on, and I mean, it was really been a tale of 2 halves the entire season, really. Under Amrim, it looked like they could be maybe dark horses for the Champions League. They were unbelievable, you know, smacked up Manchester City and were flying. Looked like top 8 was on the cards. But then since he's gone, they haven't won a single game in the Champions League, and form has completely capitulated. Yeah, we look at a shell of their former selves. I mean, Victor Gyökeres has still had a fantastic time in the Champions League this season, but yeah, I don't know. Unless things can quickly turn around, I don't see Sporting, unfortunately, anymore doing anything in the Champions League, which is really disappointing. Because at one point, as I said, it looked like they could be, you know, potential dark horses for this trophy. And as for Bologna, I mean, gave a good account of themselves in the Champions League. 6 points, not bad. I think they actually gave some decent games to some of those bigger sides like Liverpool. And yeah, managed to beat Dortmund and almost held on for another win here. Sturm 1, Leipzig 0, goal from Malic. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it was a bit of a deadbeat game. Both teams didn't really need a win. Both teams were already out at this point, so it didn't really matter for both teams. But Sturm will be pretty happy they got a win here. 2 wins, not too bad. I don't think they were really expecting to do anything in the Champions League this season. And beating Leipzig as well is a pretty decent result for them. But I mean, RB Leipzig are probably the biggest flops of the league phase, finishing in 32nd place with 1 win, 7 losses out of 8. I mean, that is pretty disgraceful, to be honest. I know we had an absolute horrid run of fixtures, but I mean, still to lose 7 out of 8 games, yeah, that is awful. And yeah, they've definitely been the worst team in the Champions League in terms of expectations and reality. Stuttgart 1, PSG 4, got from Pacho, Barcola, and a hat-trick from Ousmane Dembele. So this was a big game actually. Both teams needed a result to qualify, and PSG came out the blocks firing and got a deserved victory. Barcola and Ousmane Dembele absolutely ran the show in this one. They were both unbelievable. I mean, Barker's goal was fantastic. Really putting his body on the line. Dembele with a hat-trick in this game. I mean, his second and third goals were unreal finishes. I mean, Dembele's always one of those players where when he's on his day, he's unreal, but it's just his day doesn't really happen consistently. That's always really been his problem. But yeah, he turned up in this game, and PSG turned up in general. I mean, overall, it was a pretty bad campaign for them. At one point, it looked like they weren't going to qualify, but they ended with 3 wins from their last 3 games to save their qualification hopes, and hopefully they'll be hoping that good form they've ended on will carry on into the next round. As for Stuttgart, I mean, yeah, really disappointing. They were 1 point away from qualifying. Sadly, wasn't meant to be. Yeah, they had some difficult games and were very, very close, but yeah, unlucky for them. And final game, I mean, between 2 teams who, I mean, it was just about pride at this point. Young Boys 0, Red Star Belgrade 1, Govram Kanga. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the game, but Young Boys finished bottom of the table with 36, 8 losses out of 8, 0 points. Pretty embarrassing for Young Boys. Red Star finish in 29th with 6 points, 2 wins from 8 games, not too bad, end on a high. So, let's then wrap up here. So that is the official table. The best team at home in the Champions League was Bayern Munich. Liverpool, Arsenal, Inter and Leverkusen all won their home games. The away games, Atalanta were the best team away from home with 10 points. The XG table actually had Bayern Munich in 2nd place, which is pretty interesting, but yeah. Anyways, we'll have a look at some of the stats as well. Lewandowski and Girassi tied as top goal scorers with 9 goals. Charles de Ketelaere got the most assists. Rafinha most goal contributions. Haaland had the most XG. Chances created. Rafinha big chances created. Kimmich. Expected assists nowadays. Zappa Costa. I mean, didn't expect that one. Big chances missed. Erling Haaland. And what else do we have here? Clean sheets, Jan Sommer 7, very impressive. 95.5% save percentage is pretty insane. Emi Martinez had the most XG prevented though with 4. Right, so we'll now have a look at the playoff round. So I'm not entirely sure how this all works, but I don't know if this is right. I have no idea if it's right. To me, it doesn't make any sense. They should just do, for me, forget the playoffs. Like, they should just simply do what the NBA do. Like, where you do, okay, so number 1, you play number 24, number 23, you play 22nd, 3rd plays it. Make it so much easier, and it would actually incentivize people to finish first. Instead of like what we saw where like Liverpool are just playing their B team, right? But anyways, we've got this format. So the draw I think is on Wednesday, actually not Wednesday, like a couple of days time. So it's going to be either Atalanta or Dortmund will face either Sporting or Club Brugge. Like, well, why do you have to do either? Just do it already. But anyways, if it's, I mean, Atalanta, that's a pretty decent draw against either of these 2 teams. You would expect them to win. This, though, is interesting because Real Madrid or Bayern Munich will face either Celtic or Man City. So Man City are going to face either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the playoff round, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. I think if I'm silly, I'm probably hoping it's Bayern. But yeah, I don't know. I think Silly might be out. I can't lie, but it should be interesting. Milan or PSV will play Feyenoord or Juve. Oh yeah, and also rest in peace Celtic as well, because you're going to also face either Real Madrid or Bayern, which is a bit peak. Milan or PSV will play either Feyenoord or Juve, which is very interesting because you have, I'm pretty sure you can draw from the same country at this point, so we might have like a all Italian tie and an all Dutch tie. And then same thing here. Yeah, you definitely can draw from the same country, because here we've got PSG versus Benfica. PSG or Benfica will play either Monaco or Brest. So PSG will come up against another French team, which is kind of annoying to be honest, because I mean PSG will definitely fancy their chances, right? Given they played them week in, week out and are clearly the best team in France. But yeah, that's the playoff round. And then I think it's, so the winner of this will play either Lille or Villa. I don't know. Okay, so basically, one of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or Man City will play either Atletico Madrid or Leverkusen in the round of 16, which is that will be pretty good. I mean, we could have a Madrid derby in the Champions League. We haven't had that since, the final. Or we could have a Leverkusen Bayern Munich. That would be pretty cool. Leverkusen Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso against Real Madrid. That'd be pretty interesting. We could have Inter Milan, Milan derby in the round of 16. We could have Juve Inter. We could have PSG versus Barca, PSG versus Liverpool as well. Yeah, okay, it'll be interesting, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with all of that. I do also just really quickly want to look at my fantasy, because I just didn't have a look at it. So yeah, this was what I got in this round, pretty bad, but to be fair, I got 85 points last week, 79 here. I didn't do too bad. That's what my team's looking like. Lewandowski did pretty well. I mean, he was top goal scorer. De Jong, not bad. Yeah. To be fair, I did pretty decent. But I'll make my transfers for all of this maybe in a separate video at one point. But yeah, we'll wrap up the video here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have enjoyed it,